Hello my loves, and welcome back to the 111-day Mind, Body, Soul Experiment Challenge series here on my YouTube channel. If you're new to the space, hi, I'm Kylie Null. I am a business, life, and healing mentor, as well as a trauma-informed energy healer, rebellious old soul of the internet, and I've made it my mission in this lifetime to help women divinely heal and come back to their divine sovereign power. I feel like I say divine so often. Just want to put this music a little bit softer. I feel like I say divine so often, but I'm like, it's fucking true. Like, it's divine. Welcome to day 12, my love. Ooh, so juicy. Today is going to be part of like a 2-day series. So day 12 and 13 are really going to go very tightly hand in hand. But part of a 2-day series of such incredible codes and realizations that I've had drop in, very much so, and they've dropped in over the past 2 days, and it's been life-changing. It's really been life-changing, and I can't wait to share this with you and allow this to actually just help you speed up your journey. So what really came through for me on these 2 codes that I want to share is they're about embodiment. And embodiment is such an important concept for us to master and to truly anchor in, because embodiment is a huge piece to manifestation. Embodiment is an incredibly big piece to being able to actually craft the reality you desire, and to be able to call in more of what you want. You have to embody that thing that you desire. If you want, to call in a new partner, you have to become that woman that can hold space for that partner to drop into a reality. If you want more income in your life, you have to become the woman that's able to hold that amount of money. Otherwise, she's going to continue repeating the same pattern she's repeating now. Perhaps you're overspending. Perhaps you struggle to trust yourself with your money decisions. Perhaps you find that money stresses you out. Like, maybe there's things in your reality, but in order to manifest, my face is so itchy, what is happening? Also, granted, we're like moving into spring, so like all the pollen and everything is like getting me all sniffly. So if I keep scratching my face here and there, that is why. So in order to really become that thing that we desire, we have to become the embodiment of it. We have to become that version. And when we become that embodiment and that version, what's really important for you to understand is you then become that frequency. So you've probably seen this before, and you know this very much so, my love, like, to be able to call in the thing that we desire into our reality, we have to be an energetic match for that thing to drop in. Otherwise it won't land. And so what does that come down to? What does this come down to? Being an energetic match, actually being able to be an embodiment. There's 2 really important principles that I want to share with you, and we're going to dive into one today, and in day 13 I'm going to dive into the second one that I feel is just so fucking profound. The first question I want to ask you, and that's really like the focus of today, is I want you to bring your mind, if you've been doing this challenge with me since day 1, bring your goal to mind, your intention for this 111-day experiment. Or if you're watching this video and it's like the first episode to drop in for you, I want you to think about a goal that you have currently, something that you desire to bring into your reality. And it can be literally anything. Like, this is really the beauty of the work I do, is like, we work on fucking anything. If it's that you want to bring more self-love in, if you want to be able, maybe you're like, oh, I really want to feel like hot in my body. I want to feel sexy and connected to my feminine energy. Perhaps it's like, I want to call in a partner, or I want to call in more money into my life, or you're like, oh, I really want to step into a season of more stability and freedom. Whatever it is, I want you to bring that to your mind, to the forefront right now. And as you bring that to your mind, I invite you just for a second to close your eyes with me and take a deep breath in and release, and just anchor yourself into this time and space. Notice your breath as it moves in through your nose and out your mouth. We're going to take 4 deep breaths just to anchor into this moment. Take a deep breath in and release. Another deep breath in and release. And try on your 3rd breath to go even slightly deeper and release. And then your final breath, take this at your own pace. And as you now anchor into your body, feel your tailbone grow heavy as you just anchor into the earth right now. And bring to your mind's eye this goal, this creation that you want to bring into your reality, this thing that you want to manifest. Perhaps you see it very clearly in your mind and you get a clear visual. Perhaps it's a feeling that you can feel now in your body. Perhaps you just know it's there. Perhaps you can feel its energy. Like, either way is just perfect. However this goal and this desire presents itself to you, trust that that's how it's meant to land. And I invite you now to really become familiar with how this vision is presenting itself to you. If you find that your goal is presenting itself in terms of a very clear visual, take note of that. If you realize that it's coming up in your field in terms of an emotion or a feeling, take note of that. Perhaps it's a feeling of like, oh wow, I'm like finally living it. I'm doing, I'm that person that I've seen in my mind's eye. Perhaps it's this feeling of coming home. Perhaps you feel it in your body, you get butterflies, you get goosebumps, like things just start to feel differently. Take note of how it's coming up for you right now. And I now want you just to place your hand on your heart and just acknowledge this with me. This vision is mine because I can see it in my mind, I can feel it in my body, I can hold it in my hands and my reality. But of course, it is mine. I am meant to bring this vision, this dream, this desire, this goal to life. Of course, it is mine. I am worthy of bringing this being, this creation, this idea, this dream to life. Of course it is mine. There is no one else that is more perfect, better suited, more equipped to hold space for this manifestation to drop in. Of course it is mine. For it is divinely made for me. As what is meant for me shall not pass me. Of course it is mine. I am the chosen one. And I just invite you to spend a few moments here and just notice the version of you behind this vision, this dream, this goal from alchemizing in your reality. Who is she? How does she carry herself? Perhaps you see what she looks like. Perhaps it's just a feeling. Perhaps it's a knowing. Either way is just perfect. But spend some time here to become familiar with who is she. How does she run her life? How does she lead her life? And how does that differ from how you're leading your life right now? And just taking some time, if there's any golden nuggets, any codes that you need to receive. Perhaps it's a vision of what your next step should be to become more of this version of you. Perhaps it's just something dropping in, a thought, a download, a feeling, What needs to shift in your life right now so you can become more of her? And when you're ready, sink back into your body with a deep breath and opening your eyes, meeting me back in this space. How divinely beautiful. I find that that's it's become one of my favorite practices as I go through this journey of up-leveling, of changing my life, of really becoming her. And when I say her, I very much speak to the woman that you've always wanted to be, that version of you, that vision. I know that when we come from a place of having a past where it was tumultuous, it was volatile, like you experienced so many things that your soul just, that probably crushed you in so many ways, whether it was abuse on any form, whether it was traumatic experiences, like whether it was disappointment, whether it was dreams that you had that didn't come to life. And when you come to this moment of conviction of like, I'm ready to change my life around, I'm ready to become the woman and step into that version of me, I'm ready to shift my life around. Connecting to that timeline, connecting to that version of you is so crucially important, because you're now moving out of a state of survival, of living in flight and fight for so long, and you're moving into a state of now being ready. And this is the powerful thing we hold as women, being ready to birth this creation into the world and bring this to life. And as you're allowing this divine download to come through, I want to say two things at the same time. I'm like, my guides, I can't do that. You're allowing this divine download to unfold. The question I now want to ask you is, are you holding space in your life right now for this version of you to come to existence? Are you holding space right now for this version of you to come into existence? And this is the first code of embodiment. How are you holding the time and the space for this version of you to make her way into your life? So I'm going to put this into like a tangible example for you. I don't know what my hair is doing here now. Is we live pretty close by the ocean, and I love the ocean. It's being by the sea, being near to the water. It's always been so cathartic and healing for me, even as a child. And when we used to live with my mother-in-law before my husband and I bought our first house, and we were in the transition period of finding a home, my mother-in-law lives by the ocean. And I remember every single morning going for an ocean walk on the beach, and it would literally be so healing for my soul on so many levels. And I've been connecting a lot to this version of me. I've been really taking a lot of the work this year. So much healing has happened, so much integration has happened, and I could just feel, I mean, this is also my why for this challenge. I'm like, it's time for me to become that woman. This ties back to like the very first, like day one, remember your why. I'm becoming this woman who's connected to nature. She's connected to herself. Like she's so gentle and soft in her feminine. Like there's all these traits that I've picked up of living in flight and fight and survival for so long that aren't really a part of this vision in this woman. And one of the things that I really noticed that this version of me does is she's in nature as much as possible, at least once a day. And she's very much more in the water. She's more in the ocean. She's more connected. And so yesterday I looked at my husband, and I finished my calls early for the day. My client sessions were done early, and I looked at him and I'm like, let's go for an ocean plunge. And I was like, I want to go into the water. Like, let's go for a sunset ocean plunge. Like, this is a thing. And even when he comes back from work this afternoon, I was like, hey babe, like I want to go for a plunge again this afternoon. Like, can we go? He's like, yeah, of course. Now, I've realized that every day spending time in nature is so important, but I've had to make that like time and space for myself to do so. Whether it is going for a run early in the morning, and I just literally run so I can take in the scenery and spend time outside and feel connected to like the earth around me. Whether it is going for a walk in the forest with our puppies and like just being able to just be there and receive and feel a part of Mother Nature. Whether it is going for an ocean plunge, whatever it is. But it was this deep realization within me that in order to allow this new embodiment to sink in, you've got to create the time and space for it to happen. You've got to create that time and space, and it's going to feel uncomfortable because you've got habits right now in your life, you've got routines, you've got ways of doing things right now that's become so deeply ingrained in who you are. It's you do them automatically. It's like so deeply part of your subconscious. It's like it's maybe like a deep pattern that I realized that was sitting in my subconscious was this deep pattern of just staying in the old, like staying in the old formed state of feeling paralyzed, being in that old formed state of just not feeling safe to take action and feeling that it's safer for me to like marinate about things on my mind and actually bring them into existence and reality, because that creation process, that translation process doesn't feel safe. And when I had this realization, I was like, okay, this pattern is here, this way of being is here, it's an old pattern, it's an old way of being, but how can you now take this and start to create space in your life for the new to drop in? And I was like, immediately, I was like, oh, spending more time in nature, by the ocean, like be by the ocean. That's all that kept coming up for me. Be by the water, be by the ocean, be by the water, be by the ocean. Allow the time and space. This next level version of you, she's connected to her feminine. She allows herself to live a slow life, but she's also very potent in her creations. Because she knows when she gives herself the time and space to do the things that feed her soul, she's not here to live in flight and fight and survival mode. Like, that's not what she's here for. She's not here to hustle and be like boss babe. She's like, no, that's not for me. Because she knows that the more she holds space for her divine feminine, the more she then allows space for her masculine to lead and for her to create and be ambitious and step into like that conscious leadership CEO energy, so she can run a business and make money and impact people and build a life filled with experiences and love and memories. But in order to do that, I have to hold space. And so I want you to sit with that, my love. This is such a beautiful code. This is the first code of embodiment for you to shift your frequency so that you can easily call in the things that you desire into your life and easily bring that in. Is, am I actually holding space for this version to come into my life? Am I holding space for this version to come in? Whether that space is space in the sense of your routines, whether it's thinking about what are your thoughts and your beliefs? Like, are you actually entertaining thoughts and beliefs that are more the distractions than actually truly like your truth? Are you creating the time and space in your life right now to become the woman you want to be? And if not, I invite you to like whip out your schedule and be like that version that you connected with today in today's meditation. Where can you create space for her? What does she want? Is it your morning routine? Is it your evening routine? Is it what you do during the day? Is it changing the way you move? Is it like, oh, she wants to be more outside, or she wants to like feel stronger, she wants to like build muscle and be in the gym? Like, what is that version of you want and need? And how can you support and hold space for her within your current routine and structure? With that, my loves, I will see you for day 13 for our second code of embodiment. Bye for now.